Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. If you could please grab a seat. First thing I just want to remind everybody is that you'll want to have a mic if you're going to ask questions or speak, because we do record this session so that we can make sure that it's on the tape so people can hear you. Also, there is sign-in sheets going around. Make sure you get on the sign-in sheets. Welcome everybody. My name is Arnie Norm. I'm the Education Branch Chief for DPFR. I'm standing in for Alicia today. She's busy with MCOM visit that's happening today. So we're going to move right into recognition for the first part, I believe, here. So Colonel Percival and Chief Buys, I believe we have a recognition.
Test. Hello? Can you all hear me? All right. Hey, good morning, everybody. So we wanted to start off with some quick recognition from the Joint Base Garrison. So Senior Airman Jonathan Umel, if you can come up front, please. So Senior Airman Umel comes to us from Fort Walton Beach. So he's been in the Air Force for about 3 years. We wanted to recognize his service to the local community in the Joint Base this morning. Oh, yeah, we'll get out of the thing there. So he's dedicated over 600 hours between last July and this July in service to local community, doing everything from working in the homeless shelter downtown to supporting Freedom Fest, feeding over 30,000 folks here on different events, including Freedom Fest, which was like a culminating thing for us. So without further ado, we wanted to pass along some recognition to Senior Airman Umel.
All right, good morning. On behalf of Colonel Lucas, she couldn't be here. She's right now with Congressman Brown, the delegation, going around the Joint Base. I'd like to welcome everyone here and open it up for opening comments. But before I do, I'd also like to welcome Major General Graham, our new DCG, his wife Janet. Welcome to the team, sir. You're going to find JBLM's a outstanding place. And with that, sir, do you have any comments?
So again, I'm Butch Graham. I'm coming from Fort Hamilton. Anybody here ever been to Fort Hamilton before? Let's try this again. Anybody here have the slightest idea where Fort Hamilton is? In the back, where's Fort Hamilton? New York City. So it's one of the forts that guarded the entrance to New York Harbor, and it kept the Canadians from attacking, the British from attacking New York City. But we guarded New York City, didn't guard Washington, D.C., and the War of 1812 is history. But anyway, so it's taken me 30 years, but I finally got to Joint Base Lewis McChord. I'm absolutely delighted to be here and looking forward to learning what you do here and figuring out, in my role as the Deputy Commander, what I can do to assist you all to make this the best place possible for soldiers, airmen, and their families. So thank you.
Colonel Kern.
Can you guys hear me? Hey, good morning. So, General Graham, welcome. It was a pleasure meeting you beforehand. This is a great location, great mission, great soldiers, great airmen. So welcome to the fight for sure. Ms. Valesky, it's always a pleasure to see you. Thanks for being here. Percy, thanks for getting us started here. Just real quick, I use this Forum 1 to say thanks for a lot of the services this team provides to our airmen. I don't think I've had a chance to speak to everyone here since we had Freedom Fest back on celebrating the 4th of July. And that was a fantastic event. General Valesky was kind enough to ask me to come up with him and make some opening comments, but we had soldiers and airmen during the flag ceremony, and it was a great chance to connect with our local community. So to everyone that had a hand in that, I just want to say personally, thank you. To give you an update on some of the things we've been doing on the Air Force side, somewhat of a tragic story, but the way our airmen responded to it, I think, is worth bringing up here. If you remember, during the President's trip to Europe, we lost a Secret Service agent to a stroke. One of the most sacred things we do in the C-17 is repatriate fallen soldiers and Americans from overseas. And one of our crews got called on to do that. And they did some fantastic things. The load in the back of the airplane wasn't configured to properly respect this individual, and carrying him back to Dover, they took that upon themselves to make it as respectful as possible. And another interesting thing was that the special agent's family, at least his spouse, was on board the airplane. And that's not something we normally see. During the alert sequence, the crew knew that. and they knew that she wanted certain things, comfort things, things like simple things like Gatorade and so on. The crew went out of their way to go and purchase things for this family to try to make it this horrible situation to help in the small way they could. And so I like to refer to our airmen as compassionate warriors. They'll kick people in the teeth if need be, but they'll hug people and love on you too. And I think that story is really indicative of the great work they do. We've been very busy on our side. We went out, we had what we call Battalion Mass TAC Week at Pope, where we send 5 to 6 airplanes and crews for a full week with the 18th Corps, 82nd Airborne. Interestingly enough, as you realize, we here do the deep freeze mission, the trip down to Antarctica. And so we, over the last week, we were doing night vision goggle landings and so on in Antarctica, which is a really neat story and a neat mission set we have here that we share with our reserve brothers and sisters. So we're one of the few bases, if not the only base, that can stand up and say we fight or support all 7 continents. And so we did that recently. But love this forum. It's a chance for us to take all the support that this team builds for our soldiers and airmen back to them. So I appreciate all the work that goes into this and the opportunity to be here. And welcome again, sir.
And Mr. Buck James.
Good morning. For those of you who haven't met, I'm Buck James. I'm the director of DPTAMS, otherwise known as the most hated man on the Joint Base. So, and this is probably going to be another reason why. So for those of you that haven't heard, the Secretary of Defense has established a policy that all military installations are now no drone zones. So commercial, off-the-shelf, unmanned aerial or aircraft systems are no longer authorized to be operated anywhere on DoD installations. That includes the small area that we had up by the Lewis Museum for small hobby drones. That is now off limits as well. So again, in this time, what we're trying to make sure everybody understands, it does not matter even if it's a small handheld Palm unmanned aircraft system. They are no longer authorized on JBLM. So as the MPs and the patrols are out and about, if they see them, they'll tell folks, hey, I just need you to shut that down and move off the installation. Now, what I can tell you, for those of you that are drone enthusiasts, and there is a very, very good website that's put together by the Federal Aviation Administration, and they have pretty good instructions if you're just starting out how to fly, or if you are going to operate them, how you do it. They also have a smartphone app that's called Before You Fly. It's the letter B, the number 4, the letter U, and then the word fly, so Before You Fly. And it's an excellent GIS-enabled system that will tell you wherever you are if there are restrictions to flight, red or amber. But the entire Joint Base Lewis McChord installation, that includes the training areas. So anything that's inside the installation is off limits for drone flights. So before we get moved, yes, ma'am.
Temporary or permanent?
That is permanent. Okay. And then the only, right now, for those exceptions to policy, they have to be granted by Secretary Mattis. So again, you can imagine there was a lot of discussion about the DJI drones and some of the other Chinese drones that are produced. Again, please, no drones. There are some operating areas off the base. Again, if you go to the FAA's website, it shows areas where you can go and do this. So for those of you that are interested, I strongly recommend you go. They have an excellent frequently asked questions section, as well as personnel that will chat. And you can talk to FAA, probably their public affairs folks, but at least you can get that information. But all the technical data is there. If that's, if that's your hobby, then I strongly, strongly recommend you take a look at that website. Okay, next. Lewis, I don't know, Joe, who's briefing? Oh, good, the Provost Marshal. Anyway, for those of you, when the slide comes up for the calendar, I won't pop out. I just want to let you know a couple of things. Personal shred days will be on there. I know those are popular. And then 2 other events, if you would, just keep an eye on. The flea market, the fall flea market, Oktoberfest. Again, that's where you guys all rotate stuff you don't want down one house to the left, and you keep those, those headboards and bedroom sets moving out as kids outgrow them. but also on the 18th of October, the Great Washington Shakeout Drill. For those of you that have been around for a while, you know what this is. If you're new, this is an opportunity to practice what you will do when the Cascadia subduction zone finally fractures. But it's the Great Shakeout is based on, are you ready if we have a large earthquake? Again, there's a great website there. The next community update as we get closer, we'll have information for you and information sheets. It's actually a really, really good drill to do with your kids. It helps kind of reassure them that, it's not as, it's not as scary as it kind of first seems. You can kind of make a game out of it, but it also is an opportunity for you to check to make sure, do you have what you need to sustain yourself and your family for 3 to 5 days until we can get essential services restored. So more information next community update, and again, personal shred. I know there's a lot of requests for us to shred your kids. We're not going to do that, but school will be starting again soon, so you can send them back. But if you have any questions, I'll be here afterward. Thanks.
All right, we're moving into the next phase of Liberty Gate construction and some renovations there. So as part of that, we are opening a new visitor center. So our visitor center will close at Liberty Main Gate. Actually, today is the last day. So tomorrow will be the first day of our temporary site, which is located, really the best way to get to it is off of exit 119, take that DuPont Silicon Road, and then turn off there onto Pendleton, and then up right across the street from the museum will be the visitor center there. They can do full accommodations, all except for if you're looking for, or you're working with agencies who are looking for a pass at 90 days to get on an access installation, that still needs to be done over at the McCord Main Visitor Center. So McCord Main will remain open through this entire process, so they can still provide a full range of services there. But this temporary visitor center will be open through the 30th of September, or hopefully the project moves faster. But as soon as that project is done at Liberty Gate, we'll reopen the main visitor center there at Liberty Gate. I just have one more announcement. There's some flyers on your table for an event we're really hosting on behalf of the Seattle Police Foundation, who's hosting it, or who's really kind of funding it and helping us put it together. But it's called Standing with Those Who Serve, or Stand with Those Who Serve. And what that is a recruiting event for any of our service members who are interested in working with state, federal, local agencies, local police departments who might want to get on there after. So it's a transition event, recruiting event for anyone who's interested. So that's on the 18th of August from 10 to 1400. So there's information on your tables for that if you're interested, but it'll be a great event. That's all I have.
Thank you. I wanted to put out a change to the Army Emergency Relief Policy that came out in 2015. I've stood in front of this group discussing this previously. Not always the favorite of commanders, that the policy that was created that allowed all soldiers to access Army Emergency Relief without command notification. And we've gone through this, and it looks like now MCOM has come back. General Dahl has just signed a new policy in July on the 12th that now states that we will, at Army Emergency Relief, notify the company commander or the soldier's leadership that they received an AER, loan, or grant. That does not mean necessarily that when they first apply, they would be notified. It's notified after they've either received a loan or a grant. We still will have commander referrals, of course, where commanders can make the AER loan directly that way, as well as times when we find service members high risk, we will require command signature. But what this will change is you'll be notified by the AER staff about the loans. Right now it's individually being done, so individually notification. We're going to look at ways to best do this type of notification so we can get that information out. Any questions on the change to the policy? All right. Madigan.
Good morning, sir, team. Sir, don't feel bad about trying to get to Fort Lewis, or JBLM as it's now called, as I've been trying for 30 years, and I'm from here. Okay, and that's part of the issue is once your career manager, note to self, do not let your career manager know where your home of record is, because you will never see it, right? I was here for 8 months back in 2012, and I'm here to finish my tour, right? I'm the new commander of Madigan. My name is Thomas Bunt, and I'm very glad to be here today. And hopefully if you have any questions, either now or you don't want to ask them in front, we'll take them afterwards, because I've got a stalwart team here ready to help you with what you need to do. Also, thank you for the American Red Cross. I could use a little coffee this morning. It's been a long week. So let's give them a big round of applause for actually showing up and having this happen. Okay, so first of all, August seems to be the month of everything when it comes to healthcare, right? It's the immunization month, right? And so taking care of kids and making sure they get their appropriate immunizations, vaccinations. And this chart is not meant to scare folks based on the potential for disease outbreaks and that sort of thing. It's basically a good, solid reminder to make sure that shot record's up to date, right? And we have some opportunities up here coming soon with pediatrics. If you go to the next slide, right? Or excuse me, this back to school physical, we'll talk to pediatrics in a second. Back to school physicals along that same line. How many of y'all wait to the day or two before soccer starts to do your physical for your kids? And then part two, how many of you blame the healthcare community for you not being able to get in and get your kids to school physical, right? Let's be honest with ourselves, take a look in the mirror. It's called prior planning, parents and members of the community. Let's make sure we call and get those appointments. I'm going to tell you something. There are a few children on JBLM, just a few. And getting those school physicals, yeah, that's pretty important, especially when you look them in the face and say it's not going to be soccer this year. It's going to be gymnastics, right? And that's a tough pill to swallow. So my kids are well as giving me the eye. All right, so make sure to make that call, make that appointment. We have a new TRICARE contractor for those who are not following. Health Net Federal Services, been in the business for a little bit. There's been a couple of hiccups, I will tell you. It's no secret. But we're working with our partners there to make sure we create a more seamless system for you. That's our goal. Next slide. And this is what I meant by the pediatrics piece. We have a live town hall, Facebook town hall, where you can ask those kind of questions. So please populate that out to your formations, your family readiness groups, your communities, where they can call in and ask those questions. You can ask those difficult questions. Hey, does such and such cause X? You know, that sort of thing. And we'll have some folks there to answer that for that hour on the 21st of September. Okay? Performance triad. First time hearing about it? Okay, maybe not. Okay? Maybe not the first time hearing about it, but applying all three of these and sleep and nutrition and activity can be challenging for many of us in these roles. But it's something we actually need to look really heavily at, because obesity and early onset diabetes and things like that in our schools are overwhelming. The figures are devastating, right? The amount of folks that can actually serve in uniform goes down annually based on several of these kind of issues. So this is a great thing to pay attention to, and it's in this month. And we also have the Armed Forces Wellness Center that actually operationalizes these concepts and helps us get to the right of that. And I think we got a few programs going on for family members. I think we're working with the 520th right now. They're going through some pilot testing. And anybody, y'all been in a bod pod? You ever heard of a bod pod? It's a humbling experience. All right, you can go in there as a beanpole and come out of there thinking, whoa, I got some issues, right? I need to work on. So be brave, entertain the bod pod, and talk to those staff there. They love what they do, and I think we got a little bit more on that as we go on. Okay, so these are some of the activities that they perform in this mission. Having a wellness center is a gift, right? It's a gift. Not every installation has one. They're expensive to set up, right? It's not exactly a revenue-generating platform, but it's something that enables the health of the population and the community, right? And they're going in, and their information feeds MHS Genesis, which is our new electronic health record, which is really good. That means when you go in there and you have some of your tests done or some of your physicals done and they need to refer you or what have you, it's actually in the medical system, which it wasn't before on a lot of the initial platforms. So it's growing by leaps and bounds. So definitely something to pay attention to. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, again, another thing in August, National Breastfeeding Month, all right? To many of you might not think that's important. I will tell you, having personal experience with this, not myself if you're wondering, but very close to me, connected, as in family. If this is not working well for your spouse, this could be a severe emotional event, right? So having these lactation consultants on the staff is a huge benefit for JBLM, right? These are certified professionals. They go through quite a bit of training. They got to pass tests to be able to do this, to work this out. It will make life better at home, trust me. Trust me, for those who have experienced challenges in this component of it. And we have lactation stations that are set up in the hospital to allow that privacy for that piece. And we've got them in 3 different locations. So this is a huge, it's another benefit that Madigan brings to the community that I think is something we should espouse. So more on that as we drive on. And I know you're all waiting for this, right? For a lot of promises made, we're almost there, if I could say that. We're almost there. I don't want to say it's full-blown right now. I want to say that still there's some testing that needs to be done and some relays that need to be set up, but this is coming, right? This is also a huge bonus because when you come on here, you don't need to get on basically a private net, a secret net, a nipper net in order to use wireless, right? So wireless will come to a hospital near you called Madigan, and that way when they're visiting patients, family members and stuff can use their devices, and also importantly in the dining facility, because we know that's where people go once they're visiting their loved members. They're going to head down to the dining facility at one point in time, and it'd be nice to be able to use wireless. So it's supposed to be at the end of last month, and like I said, we have a couple hiccups, but I'm hoping to be able to kind of say next time we have this gathering that it's full-blown. In the time in between, if it comes up online, we'll do some sort of Facebook virtual ribbon cutting or something like that to really emphasize a wireless platform is now in your neighborhood, and we'll make sure we put it out to the group. And I'm not sure if this is the last one. It might be the last one. We no longer can do Relay Health or TRICARE Online. Is everyone all tracking that? This is MHS Genesis Base. So you need a DS login. Going to go to that site, right? I'm pushing it up here because Relay Health and TRICARE Online were good tools, good systems to be able to communicate with your provider. When you go through an electronic health record transition, unfortunately, sometimes some hiccups in the road as we transition, but this is to get the word out that we still have an SMS type of system where people could talk to their provider. It's just based on this new login portal. It's the patient portal, right? And once you're in, it works because we've heard some feedback on it. It's just change is tough, right? Change is tough. And as the rest of this EHR mobilizes throughout the entire platform of the Department of Defense, not just Army installations, but all installations, everyone will become more and more normalized with this new process, and it'll show up here also with a DS login already. I mean, that's the future, but this is what it is for right now. Okay? Any questions on that? We can update through DEERS. There's the number for you. It's still based on the same root system, which is good, so that thing doesn't have to change. Okay, just make sure your family members and such are up to date. There are a few ways to stay connected with Madigan, and I'm learning them every day. Let me tell you something, because every time I turn around, I'm in the Twitter sphere or somebody's firing something, and just trying to keep up with this, I need like an army of PAO people, which apparently I do have. So if you have any questions, Jay over at that table there would be more than happy to answer them for you, or we'll find who needs to interject themselves. But basically, we've got a lot of ways to stay connected with Madigan, and please, I encourage everyone to participate when they can. Send us some notes or some thoughts, and we'll make healthcare better for the community with your help. Next slide. Thank you so much for your time. Glad to be here. Thank you for letting me come back and complete my tour. Who is sir?
Good morning. I'm Kathy with the Directorate of Public Works, talking to you this morning from our Environmental Division, and we're talking about smoke. Right? Everybody's seen some burns happening all over JBLM, and I just want to let you know we do have a prescribed burn program that is ecologically necessary to restore our native prairie species. However, there are other burns going on. If anybody's been down the DuPont Stillicum Road this weekend, you might have noticed that there's some smoke, and there still is smoke. That's from a training exercise that happened on Range 102 and what leaked into 104. Those are wildfires. So when there's a training exercise at this time of year, a lot of times they will set the woods on fire, especially down in the artillery impact area. For those friends of ours here that live in Roy, half a mile from the AIA, that's something you might notice too. So once again, if you're doing training, make sure you coordinate with Range and make sure you're on track, but letting you know that even though there is a statewide burn ban, and I put burn ban pamphlets on all the tables, we do prescribe burns for ecological purposes. If you're having a problem, contact us at that phone number for nuisance smoke. Keep in touch with us. Sustainable JBLM Facebook page. We post, the JBLM homepage posts, PAO's on it all the time. So just so you know, we are actively trying to share the word that we are burning and where we're burning. So we post where those burns are taking place. All right, next slide. Talking to you about our Go Lewis McChord program. So once again, Go Bikes are available now at 8 different locations. We just set up with Dr. Bruder over there at the Army Wellness Center at Jensen Gym, another bike location for checkout. So be sure and check it out. While the weather's good, we'll be riding bikes right through October. And we are about to push our van pool coming forward. If you're interested in riding van pool to help avoid some of the traffic challenges that are coming up, reach out to us at goluismcchord.com. Type in your zip code, and you can match up to an existing van pool. There's great incentives. All right. Any questions for me? Thank you.
Good morning, Nancy Barnes with DPW Housing. And I just want to give you an update on the final Headquarters DA housing survey that you all graciously done for us. And the good news is that out of 22 neighborhoods, 9 neighborhoods scored over 85% that they were satisfied. What's really unique is that 2 of the neighborhoods are lower enlisted and some of our older homes. So from last year's survey, we did a lot of work in Hillside, which is at the bottom here, and then Parkway, that had an 81% satisfaction rate. As you come through the main gate, they're on the left and right, and Lincoln has done tremendously a lot of work in those 2 neighborhoods. And as a result, it's showing. Next slide. So, the results we're hearing is that people don't like carpet. So we're continuing the LVP conversion, pulling carpet out, and we'll continue doing that. The second thing is AC. A lot of our houses don't have AC. New construction does. Renovation, most of them have it. The sad news is our historic homes don't. And it's because it's just not possible to do that. But all renovations going forward, if it's possible, Lincoln will put AC in there. If they can't, we're going to look at doing ceiling fans. So that's something that we're going to be looking at and negotiating with Lincoln to do. The next one is, we heard a lot about, my BH, I get all this money and I have to live in a smaller home, and somebody else across the street has a gorgeous new home. So we have the haves and have-nots. So we're going to be looking at that as well. And one of the things that we wanted to point out is the product outside the gate, comparable to your BAH for rent. You also have to keep in mind that utilities, you're going to have to pay on top of that, which would sometime exceed the BAH. So that's just something to keep in mind. And then the last thing is fencing. So we did finish 2 neighborhoods. Parkway got all new fencing, and Cascade Village got all new fencing. Broadmoor Ranches got all new fencing, and we'll continue to do that. So we'll look at all those things. So again, thank you all for doing the survey, and we look forward to doing it again next year. Yeah, okay, so the partners, the senior partners, meet at the Pentagon once a year, and they talk about housing and what's going on with finances and occupancy. And last year, OSD wanted the partners to start charging a pet fee for all the installations, not just ours. Lincoln and the Garrison, we've been kind of pushing back a little bit, and finally, we've got to do that. So, what we want to say is that on the outside, what you're going to pay is $200 to $400 refundable, but what's not refundable is between $500 and $800 for your pet. On top of that, you're going to pay a monthly pet rent. So that's quite a lot of money for your pet. And this is outside the gate, that's not here. And they usually only allow 2 pets, and they have a weight limit, okay? Current residents that are in housing today will still be under the current policy. which is your first 2 pets, you don't pay anything. Your 3rd and 4th pet, you pay a $250 refundable fee, and you get that back, and there is no weight limit. Okay, so that's all current residents. So in other words, come December, you want to buy your kid a pet, you're going to be under the current policy. The new policy for folks coming in 1 September and thereafter is going to be the new pet policy, which is 150 refundable, 150 non-refundable. So they're going to have to come up with that for each pet up to 4. We still don't have a weight limit, and we're still accepting 4 pets. And that is going to be the new policy starting 1 September. So folks that are talking to housing today that will be moving in 1 September and thereafter, they are given this information. Okay, and I'll be at the table if you have any questions afterwards. Thank you. Who's next? Oh, I wasn't ignoring you.
On a waiting list, I would be surprised if my house comes available on October 1st and all of a sudden now I have to come up with $300 per pet. So for those folks who are currently on a waiting list, are you going to offer the grandfather clause to them also?
That's a really good question. I'm going to have to go back and verify. I would say that if you're already on the wait list, you're assigned at Lewis or McCord, you would be under the current policy. I would say those that are inbound 1 September and thereafter would be under the new policy. So I'm 99.9% sure that is the answer.
I'd love to hear 100%.
Okay, so at the end I'll get your name and let you know, okay? Any other questions? Great. Mike?
Morning, Kelly from MWR. August event's coming up. It's cooled down a little bit today, but we've still got a month of summer to go. So these are the fun things that we have happening. The youth shoot is this weekend. You need to register for that quickly if you want your kids to shoot out at the range. And then if you want to watch the UFC fight this weekend on Saturday, 3 places to watch it on base. Here in this building inside the pub, it's free. At the Warrior Zone, it's free. And then at Sam Adams on Lewis, Maine, it's $5 cover. Pacific Pathways Triathlon, if you're ready for the triathlon, fantastic, go run this weekend. If you think you can do it, please sign up. If you haven't gotten into shape, I'd wait till next year. The bodybuilding competition coming up, the Health Expo on the 11th of August. The Northwest Adventure Center's block party, a good opportunity for you to maybe pick up some extra outdoor gear. If you're in the market for some used gear, they'll have their used gear for sale there. Their sales store will be having a sale, and then they'll also have some presentations and some folks talking about some of the great trips that they do, photography classes, mountaineering, things like that. And then at the bottom there, Seahawks tickets. MWR has season tickets to the Seahawks, and we get them at a good price, and we pass those savings on to the community at JBLM. So if you are a DoD ID card holder, go and register for the opportunity to purchase tickets to the Seahawks games or to see whichever team is going to come and beat the Seahawks. So you need to get your name. It's a diverse audience. See? So if you want to get in the lottery to maybe purchase those tickets, go to one of the Leisure Travel Services offices. They're located inside the bowling centers, either on Lewis, Maine, or here at McCord. Put your name in the kitty. They'll check your ID card, and then they will draw the winners starting on the 4th at noon. They'll post the list of winners on Facebook like they have in the past, and then they'll contact the winner as well. And the winners are in number of drawing. The first person out is the first person to get choice of whatever tickets that they want. And there are 2 sections that you can purchase for. There are their lower sections and then high up as well, so you've got some price differences. But if you want tickets, definitely get your name in the hat, because your chances of getting tickets outside of this are slim to none unless you are a multimillionaire. Next slide, please. This is a reminder for commanders. We know that you're competitive and you want those Commanders Cup points, so make sure that your squadrons and your units have registered for these Commanders Cup sports. The flag football season is coming up. The coaches meeting was already the 30th, but your sign-up deadline is only the 6th. So if you haven't fielded a team, you can go ahead and still sign up for that. And then we've got the paintball tournament coming up, and that one, the tournament is on the 11th, and the deadline to register for that is this coming Monday. Next, please. And then finally, what's coming up in September and October, the Salmon Run, Wine and Jazz. It'll be our 2nd annual Wine and Jazz, and it'll be here in this room. We had a great turnout last year. We've got a jazz group coming and lots of good food, so that'll be a fun event here. And then first talking about September, Oktoberfest, September 15th. We are doing that in conjunction with the flea market over at the MWR Fest tent on Lewis, Maine, and always a fun event. Then moving into October, indoor soccer for Commanders Cup and the Zombie Apocalypse Run. We still don't know where they're going to start for that, but we usually, if you want to run away from the zombies or if you want to volunteer to be a zombie, you've got a choice there. And then Theatrical Nightmare is the annual Better Opportunities for Single Service Members haunted house, and they probably have more information about that for you. That's all I've got for MWR for the next few months. Anybody have any questions? Great, thanks.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sarah Williams. This is Senior Airman Lives with the BOSS program. We're just going to talk to you guys about what we did last month and what we're going to be doing in August and some of the events and upcoming things that we have going on. Next slide, please.
So this was events that we did in July, and one of them was the Freedom Fest, where we had our nice little barbecue and made some delicious brats and hamburgers. And we also had David Lee Murphy perform there, and that was a blast. Great guy, got to meet him, awesome. And we also went rock climbing, and the new BOSS president, Sergeant Nitka over there, was climbing like a monkey, I hear. So that was a blast. Next slide.
So these are the upcoming events that we have going on in August. So we're doing a finance class tomorrow, so that should be really informative. We have someone coming down to speak to the single service members about how to, build good credit. I know a lot of new service members like to just, go out and buy the first car that they see without really knowing anything about credit or APR, anything like that. So that will be really informative. We also have our BOSS Strong competition all next month and the month of September. We have our 7 teams already put together, thanks to a lot of units who have given up their soldiers for that. And so we're really excited about that. We actually have a BOSS Strong launch party this afternoon from 1500 to 1700 if you'd like to stop by. It'll be a really nice pep rally kind of thing, passing out the t-shirts, letting everybody know, the kind of activities and things that they'll be doing over the next 2 months. And also, I'd like to introduce the new installation BOSS team that'll be taking over starting next month. Could you guys stand up? So we got Sergeant Dika, PFC Best, and Sergeant Lim, and Specialist Smith, who isn't here today, but you guys will meet her next month. So yep, they'll be taking over for BOSS and carrying on all of our single service member opportunities. Next slide.
So coming up at the end of this, oh, you guys, getting all claps. So at the end of this month is our big August 30th Single Service Member Day. This is a huge event. There's going to be car shows, there's going to be 3v3 basketball tournament, a softball game against leadership, esports tournaments. It's a huge fun day for single service members to get out and just have a lot of fun. It starts at 06:30 in the morning with a run if you want to get up that early. And then they'll sign in for the day at 9:30, and then it goes until about 1600, I believe. So great day, and definitely have your members come out to it and enjoy a fun day of fun stuff to do.
So yeah, today we're actually going to be doing a lot of Single Service Member Day planning for our BOSS installation meeting that's happening in this room at 1300. So if you'd just like to stop by and just see what the planning process is all about, then that's where we'll be having it, and then we'll have the BOSS Strong launch party thereafter. So does anyone have any questions? All right, thank you.
Good morning. I'm Randy Brandt, the Garrison Chaplain. I'm glad to have you here today. And a couple of events I want to highlight on this slide. First one is the Back to School Bash that we'll be having. Our Grace Gospel congregation and Operation Homefront are combining efforts to give out free 600 backpacks filled with school supplies to our kids. It's going to happen on 11 August. The key is they have to be registered and identified ahead of time. So if you need that information, just let me know and we can get you connected to that. But that's going to happen behind the MWR tent on Lewis, Maine, and starts 1000 on the 11th, that Saturday, and a lot of events for kids. There's going to be the fire trucks will be out there. They're going to have bouncy houses and all sorts of fun events for the kids during that time as well. Next big event that's coming up is 12 September. We got our Faith Family University Night. Two aspects to that. One is for the kids, and that's our AWANA program. AWANA stands for Workmen and that needs not be ashamed. Folks that emphasize studying the Bible and memorizing Bible verses and applying those verses to our lives. Very practical, very good for our kids. The other side of that is, while the kids are doing that, we're going to have some adult parent type classes. There will be one class in particular on the McCord side is going to be the art of parenting. So while your kids are in AWANA, you can partake in some of these classes that are going on simultaneously. So we've got those two great events to offer. Next slide, please. And then just a reminder about our Family Life Center that is opened at 4 CMC. That's our Four Chaplains Memorial Chapel. And that offers a lot of different great services. Some that are highlighted there. We've got the counseling issues. They've got some great modalities that they're using, especially EMDR, if you ever heard of that. That's eye motion desensitization and reprocessing. And that's one of the great modalities that helps trauma survivors. So if anybody's interested in looking at that, exploring that, they've got some issues there that they can work through as well. Couples counseling, children's counseling. They've got a great children's pediatric kind of counseling load that they're working. So anything that, one in particular, they're looking at PCS issues for kids. A lot of kids go through some issues when they're facing PCS, grief, loss issues, and they don't know how to discuss those or talk about those. And so they've started a children's group just focusing on PCS issues. So if you're interested in any of that, just let us know. The phone numbers are there for appointments, and they'll be glad to help you out. Any questions for me? Okay, thank you.
Good morning. Mike Cruz from McCord Commissary. Just a few things going on. This one is at Lewis, Maine Commissary. They got the Hot Deals of Summer Sale. Again, local produce from Eastern Washington, the 2nd to the 6th August 2018. Next slide. Again, Lewis, Maine Commissary. What they have going on here, Smithfield Mobile Sampling Tour. August 8th through 11th, Wednesday to Saturday, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., and Sunday, 12th August, 12 a.m. to 4 p.m. Next slide. That was it? Oh, same as McCord, too. So, and I believe they have hot dogs. When they come out, they have the Nathan's hot dogs going on. So just stop by and get some of that sampling stuff. Any questions? Thank you. I still got more? What is this? Lewis, Maine Commissary. My goodness. Back to school sidewalk sale in the farmer's market, 30th August to 2nd September, located in their warehouse. Next slide, if there's any more. Excellent, good. My goodness. Any questions? Thanks.
Good morning. My name is Diana Krieger. I am the Sales and Merchandise Manager at the McCord Main Exchange. I am standing in today for Ms. Tinker, who is TDY. As we look at our slides, before I go into that though, being the Sales and Merchandise Manager, I'm always open to questions afterwards in reference to our stock and replenishment systems, if there are any questions on that. I have served the exchange for 33 years. I am a military brat. My father served in the Army for 30 years, and I've worked at all of our exchange facilities throughout CONUS and Germany. So it is for me an honor to continue to serve our family throughout the world where we are located. So with that said, what we have going on, we have a lot of slides today. Just some updates between the McCord and Lewis side. We have on the 4th of August our sidewalk sale that will be from 0900 to 1500, right outside the front entrance of our store. We at McCord have more space outside right now in the grassy area for sidewalk sales and for our NERF event that will be taking place. Lewis will have their NERF event inside the store, but it's basically the same event going on. So our sidewalk sale will be on the 4th. It's a good opportunity to stop by and check us out, where we offer a lot of items throughout the categories of merchandise that we carry on sale or at a discounted price as we are getting ready to enter our 4th quarter, where we have the opportunity to clear out a lot of our residual one-time buy excess promo items. So it's always a good deal and opportunity to save on some savings on some merchandise. The Nerf Fest is always fun. You know, we set up our tables and assorted Nerf guns for the kiddos to play with. We have also the moms and dads that participate, and the kids always have a blast doing that. And with the weather hopefully still being on the good side, it's always nice when we can do these events outside with the kids. We just have more room and opportunity for them to play. Recently, we just opened up on the side of Concession Services, the DME. It's a durable medical equipment store. It is in the former GameStop, inside the food, not the food area, but the concession across from the barber shop. It's brand new, just had their grand opening on the 30th, where they are offering medical equipment such as walkers and canes for purchase as well as to rent. So it's something new, brand new for us having in our mall areas. So definitely stop by and just check that out, what opportunities are there for our community. The hours of operation are Monday through Friday, 0900 to 1700, Saturday 10 to 1400. A phone number is also there standing by. If I reflect back over on the Lewis side, on the 11th of August, they are having an MWR bodybuilding event from 17 to 2100 hours. They are also having, on the 17th of August, LG OLED TV demo. Pretty sure that's going to be in their Power Zone area. It's always good to see all the nice benefits of OLED. Very, very clear pixels and picture. Saturday on the 18th, they are having a demo on their C4 supplements, where samples and giveaways will be offered from 11 to 1300. And on Sunday, the 26th of August, is National Dog Day. So from 11 to 1400, there will be giveaways and coupons for our furry friends. So lots of things going on between the McCord and our Lewis Exchange. Next slide. Starting today through the 5th of August, when you come to our stores, at any register, at all registers, whether it be jewelry counter, our power zone, our firearm counter, central checkout areas, you have the opportunity to donate and aid our Air Force Assistance Fund or Army Emergency Relief. And you will receive a coupon for $5 off of your next purchase of $25 or more. And this will go through the 5th of August. So you do have the opportunity to redeem the coupons between the 6th and the 11th of August. And again, this is both the Lewis side and the McCord side. What we do is always, since we're a joint base, what they're doing, we're doing. Okay, so there's no difference there in that. Next slide. Over at Lewis, and I like to take this opportunity to mention, because we have several of our customers that still call thinking that we have the movie theater tickets in our store. The movie tickets are only distributed through the Fort Lewis Main Exchange back office, and this is for the free advance screening of the movie Mile 22 for the 4th of August at the Cary Theater at 1900 hours. So the tickets will be available on the 1st of August at the Lewis Main Exchange Manager's Office at 0900 hours. So again, that's a good opportunity to grab some of the free screenings. Next slide. Another free advanced screening is the movie AXL, the 11th of August at the Cary Theater at 1900 hours. Again, the tickets are available at the Lewis Main Exchange back manager's office. Next slide. We have, which we had last year as well, it was a great success, so Joff Fisher is returning back to our exchange. Our Fisher boards are located in Sporting Goods Department as well as in the Lewis Main store. He is coming back. Joff Fisher is the founder of the Fisher boards. He will be coming and offering some good information on the boards, as well as he's coming with some giveaways, t-shirts, and things like that you want to take advantage of. But it's always been a great success having him come visit us. Next slide. We're always looking for more help in our stores, always hiring. The exchange offers some fantastic benefits, medical, full benefits, let me put it that way, and advancement in career for anybody that is looking for a career with the exchange. We're always advising and encouraging our community to go to our website and just check us out, what there is to offer, and what positions are open and available. Also on our website, shopmyexchange.com, right now we're offering 2 sweepstakes. One of them is Marsh, the Mars and Hershey's. It's not on the slide, but I just brought it as an addition to mention. It's a back-to-school sweepstakes for a chance to win one of 10 500 exchange gift cards. There'll be 10 winners worldwide. And I have to say, between McCord and Lewis, we always have 1 to 2 winners. So it's always a good thing to go in and check that out. As well as we have a Military Star Hard Work Pays Off back-to-school sweepstake, where our customers will receive 1 entry into the Hard Work Pays Off back to school when they use their Military Star card twice at any exchange facility and twice at any commissary location in August of 2018. So the 100 winners that will be selected will receive $250 in gift cards, a $100 exchange gift card, and a $100 commissary gift card, and a $50 entertainment or exchange food court gift card, which is also redeemable at the real-time theater locations. So a total of $25,000 is going to be handed out to our lucky winners. So again, that's all on our shopmyexchange.com site. We encourage everybody to always go there. It gives a lot of information of just a lot of things that pertain to the exchanges. Last but not least, I know it's always been in the air, but it's finally on the docket that I have the opportunity to mention on the construction on Fort Lewis, the schedule for the shopping center expansion. We are looking at the starting construction being in October of this year. I know it's been a long time awaiting, but the delays as we know it with real estate and contracting and bidding is always a process in place that takes time and delays that will happen. But this now is set, so starting construction will take place in October 2018, with the grand opening being on the 20th of September 2020. Okay, it's a large project. There will be lots of new concession sales opportunities in the mall area. I don't know the blueprint or the platform of the total reset of their expansion, but I know in terms of the food operations, I know there's going to be a Boston Market, different other food franchises, so that between Lewis and McCord, there's different things. Not that we're duplicating, Arby's here, Arby's there, and so forth. There's always going to be that difference. But it looks really cool from what I've been hearing. I know there's going to be a tattoo shop and just all kinds of other cool things. So finally can say that it is going to happen. So again, the grand opening is scheduled for 20 September 2020. And it's going to be in phases, of course, as the construction will be ongoing during that time, but the stores do remain open during that process. So happy to report that, and I thank everybody, and it's an honor for me to continue to serve. Thank you very much. Any questions for me? If so, our doors are always open to answer any of your questions. Thank you again.
Thank you. Hi, my name's Jamie Lynn, and I'm with the Spouses Club here at JBLM. And I just want to remind that the Spouses Club is open to all ranks, and spouses of active duty, reserve, guard, retired, and Gold Star spouses are welcome to join our club. And our big super sign-up event is coming up on the 21st, and it's at Sam Adams, but it's at the Eagles Pride Golf Course, so we've moved it from the location it was last year. And that's all I have.
And with Labor Day, the next Garrison update is at Nelson Rec on the 12th of September at the normal 9:30 time. Turn it back over to you, Colonel Percival.
Commander's comments. Any questions about what we've covered for today? We'll have the team here waiting for you if you do have any specific questions. But is there anything we need to talk about as a group? Okay, Colonel Kern, do you have any closing comments? General Grant. All right, you all have a great day.